Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I read glitch in the Matrix stories, usually. Stories that are just strange. Now let's get right into it. Story title: Jeans I lost a year ago suddenly turned up at a consignment store 1,500 miles away. Author name: It was a bad idea. Today I was selling some clothes I don't need anymore at a popular teens consignment store called Plato's Closet. I've never sold with them before, which is important. I was just browsing around while they were sorting through my clothes and found a very distinct pair of jeans that I had lost a year or so ago. They're jeans that I distressed by hand and had a now former friend patch with Galaxy fabric, and she did a really crappy job at it and also added a semicolon decal, which are two of the most identifying characteristics. I even found the video of me distressing them, and it was done in 2018. When I moved to Idaho in 2019 for college, I lost them. Then I moved back to Texas in 2020. I didn't like them, so it wasn't a big deal, but now they're in this store that's 1,500 miles from where I lost them, and they've been there for 4 months max according to the associates, since they cycle things out every 2 seasons. More weird details. They somehow had my old home address in the system, despite me never selling with them before, and the ID they used to enter me into the system having my current address on it. This can't be explained with someone selling the jeans in my name. You have to have photo ID to sell with them, and when they scan the ID, it brings up the info on your ID and nothing more. And to top it all off, here's my receipt and order number for the transaction. This has been such a weird and surreal experience. Update: I went back to the same Plato's Closet and they, predictably, were not there. None of the staff that was working yesterday was working today, and the lady at the counter kept giving me attitude when I was asking questions. I eventually left my name and number with them, just in case whoever bought them brings them back, since honestly, they were one of the most ill-fitting jeans I've ever had, and the patches weren't even finished. You could stick your hand right through the holes. I know they're not going to call me though, and I'm probably never going to see the jeans again. Or maybe I might, in 10 years, in a different Plato's Closet in a different country. Somebody else has traveling pants now. Personal thoughts. So reading through this, I thought it was just going to be another detailed story regarding a crossover or parallel reality event. However, given you went back and the employees were all different, and the pair of jeans gone, it feels more like a trickster at play. It could just be a coincidence, but I don't know, maybe a prank by your friends, perhaps. Or by some entity. The 666 on the receipt doesn't strike me as evil, I don't know. It seems too on the nose, you know? Maybe it's just how you wrote the story, though. The whole thing gives off a vibe of being silly and odd at the same time. Like those mind-bending pranks you see on YouTube sometimes. Definitely let us know if you do happen to come across the jeans again. Second story. Story title: I died, but I'm still here. Author name: sogeminisunmoon. Okay, so I'd like to start off this story with the fact that I'm a 23-year-old male with a moderately fast sports car. And when I got it, I used to drive fast and have fun on the highways of Atlanta all the time. I got my license there and traveled 66 miles a day for work. Anyways, this one night, at approximately 10:30 p.m., I was on the I-20 coming from Lithuania and driving through Atlanta back to my house. I remember I was doing 90 miles per hour in the next lane to the fast lane, the second lane from the left on a 4-lane highway. And there was a semi-truck maybe 300 or 400 feet in front of me, in the lane to my right. There were multiple cars in the fast lane to my left, like 2 ahead and 1 parallel to me. Suddenly, one of the cars to my left just starts getting over on me, like completely cutting me off. I know I was speeding, but in my head I'm like, they're about to kill me. I'm in between the semi-truck to my right, like he's parallel, and the car to my left is about to run right into me. He was so close that I expected my body to hit where his gas cap was. At this point, I look at the speedometer and I'm doing 90 like I said. I screamed out loud, the loudest I've ever screamed. I'm an army vet, by the way. I literally shrieked, squeezed my eyes shut and braced myself for the fatal impact. Now, I wouldn't say my whole life flashed before my eyes, but a significant amount of memories and decisions I had made flooded my mind. They appeared to me like pictures, and after what felt like minutes, but surely was only a second or two, I opened my eyes, and I was doing 110 miles in the fast lane, farthest left lane, alive and genuinely confused and scared. I got off on the next exit, threw up, and passed out in my car. I don't understand how I'm alive. I died right there. My car is fast, but not fast enough to avoid that collision, in that situation. I guess the universe wants me to live for some reason, but I'm certain I died there. Personal thoughts. Okay, so let me make a few things clear. You're not alone, you're not crazy. It's just reality itself that is borderline nuts. That's the truth. All the common notions we have of what reality is, how it functions, they work on a day-to-day basis, but there's so much more under the hood than most realize. So until wild stuff like this happens to you, you just won't believe it. In your case, the two clear possibilities were either quantum immortality, glitch, quote unquote, I mean really it's a feature of the universe at this point, I'm convinced, or a guardian angel situation, some kind of protecting entity that saved you. Maybe somehow gave your car a boost of speed or something. But I would say the guardian angel hypothesis is more on the glitch side or less proven, because the stories I've read regarding them feel more flimsy. Not that they're lies, I'm just not as convinced of their veracity as I am for quantum immortality, because for the latter, there's just so many stories. It's like I might as well just wake up and read the quantum immortality newspaper. There's enough to fill many newspapers. Anyways, this just means that if you're not aware what it is, it just means that your soul or your essence, whatever makes you you, is transposed into an almost identical parallel reality version of yourself. But one key detail is almost always you remember the actual death that happened. And this only happens when you actually do die, in the first reality. But this would be an alternate reality, where it's multiverse theory. Basically, any interaction between any particle spawns a new universe. And there's a lot of particles and a lot of interactions. So, there aren't an infinite number of alternate realities, but the number is so large you may as well just say infinite. And this means that you can be transposed to realities that are different. And usually, they're very similar, but there are small details off. Maybe some of your friends have different interests. Maybe their favorite color or food is different. Or maybe even like scenery on your way to work changed a bit. Even the smallest detail can be quality evidence that you actually did shift over. Certainly possible. Let us know. And that concludes our 2 stories for the night. I've been reading a lot of quantum immortality stories lately. I just love them. They have a special place in my heart, let's say. Anyways, if you like them too, hit the like button and consider subscribing. I upload Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. EST. I'll see you there.